Hello, in this video we're going to go through Learning Target 136, which is about writing and solving a system of equations based on a real-world context. If you don't have these notes, you can just write this at home, and I would recommend pausing the video, writing down the problem, and then unpausing so we can go through it together. So writing and solving systems is super helpful to be able to solve real-world problems. And so we're going to go through each one of these problems on the front page. And I'm not going to go through start to finish because in theory, you know how to solve systems using substitution or elimination. But I want to talk about like how to set up the equations to be able to then solve them. So first time you read a story problem, just read it straight through to figure out what's going on. So it says there are 13 animals in the barn. Some are chickens and some are pigs. There are 40 legs in all. How many of each animal are there? And so what we want to do is we kind of want to figure out like what totals do we have. Finding the totals first is super helpful to me to be able to find what the rest of my equations should be. So I'm just going to kind of write that here, like find totals first. And so in this case, I have a total of 13 animals and a total of 40 legs. Those are my two totals. And then I also know that some are chickens and some are pigs. And if you consider, like, we're talking about animals and their legs. And so it's important to know the difference between chickens and pigs and how many legs they have, because that's going to come in handy later. So next to chickens, I'm just going to write 2 legs. And next to pigs, I'm going to write 4 legs. So my first total is this 13. So I'm going to start with equals 13. And I know that some are chickens and some are pigs. So I'm just going to add up all the chickens and all the pigs, and that should equal 13. So I'm going to use X and Y. And whenever you use variables in a real world scenario, you have to tell me what those variables are, because often you'll use X and Y, and you need to be sure that you identify what that means. So I'm just going to do that off to the side by saying X is chickens and Y is pigs. So then my second total is this 40 legs. So I know I'm going to have 40 at the end. And I need to add up all my chickens' legs and all my pigs' legs. So chickens have 2 legs, and that's X. So I have 2 legs for every chicken, plus 4 legs for every pig. And there we go. So now you can take this and you can solve this using either substitution or elimination. If you wanted to do substitution, you would try to get X or Y by itself by just subtracting the other one. So if I wanted to do substitution, I would just subtract X from both sides to get Y equals negative X plus 13. And then my other equation stays the same. And then you could go ahead and substitute that. If you wanted to do elimination, you would have to multiply the top equation by either -2 to get rid of the x's or -4 to get rid of the y's. I think doing -2 would be easier, so I'm going to multiply that. And then my second equation stays the same, so I'm just going to bring that over there. And then you could do elimination. So whichever one you choose is fine, but this set of equations is like the new stuff from today. So being able to interpret the story to be able to write the equations. Okay, so let's look at another one. This one says tickets for the homecoming dance cost $20 for a single ticket and $35 for a couple. The sales totaled $22.80 and 128 people attended. How many tickets of each type were sold? So again, find the totals first. You should have 2 of them because we're doing systems. So the first total I have is the money total. And the second total I have is the people total. So let's start with the money total because it gives us money information over here. So I know it's going to say equals 2280 because that's my total. And we have 20 for a single ticket and 35 for a couple ticket. So we have $20 for every single ticket plus 35 for every couple ticket. And I'm just going to define my variables over here. And then my other total is the people total. So I'm going to have equals 128. And if X is a single ticket, that means a single person is represented. So I just have an X plus Y is a couple ticket. And so couple means two people. So we have two people for every couple ticket. So here are my two equations. And again, you can use substitution or elimination to solve. So I think you should try the next two on your own. Pause the video to do that and then unpause it and I will talk about them. So I have my answer already for this one. So I just have X is shirts and Y is hats. So this first one is Eva's order, 2 shirts, 5 hats, 154. And the second one is Nicole's. Now this last one is really common and it's a little confusing at first. So I wanted to go through this one to begin with. So this says the difference between two numbers is 6. Their sum is 14. What is the bigger number? So you do have to know what difference, sum, product, quotient, all those mean, because difference means subtract and sum means add. So I'm just going to let X be one number and Y be the other number. Seems weird, but it's just talking about two numbers. So X is one and Y is the other. So the difference means subtract them. So X minus Y equals 6. And sum means add them. So X plus Y equals 14. And now you can go ahead and solve them. So it's just making sure that you know what our math vocab words are. And then the fact that our variables are a little weird because they're not something specific like shirts or hats. It's just X is a number and Y is the other. Okay. Wonderful. So this is what 1.3.6 is adding to solving, is being able to take our information from a real world